My name is Melissa Fowlkes. I'm a fourth grade teacher at Hennessy School, and I'm pleased to have my fourth grade students reading to you from Saluting New Readers. It'll be my 13th year.
Hello, my name is Maya, and I'm going to be reading Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. The poem is The Loser. The Loser. Mama said I'd lose my head if I wasn't fastened on. Today I guess I wasn't, because while playing with my cousin, it fell off and rolled away, and now gone. And I can't look for it because my eyes aren't in it, and I can't call to it because my mouth is on it. Couldn't hear me anyway because my ears are on it. Can't even think about it because my brain's in it. So I guess I'll sit down on the truck and rest for just a minute. Listen to the mustn'ts. Listen to the mustn'ts, child. Listen to the don'ts. Listen to the shoulds and possibles, the wants, and listen to the never haves. Then listen close to me. Anything can happen, child. Anything can be. Where the Sidewalk Ends. Thank you for listening to me read Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein.
Hello, my name is Cameron Edwards, and I'm going to be reading Gila Monsters by Jason Glaser. What Gila monsters look like. Gila monsters have hard skin. Their skin pattern is made of black, orange, pink, and yellow scales. Scales look like tiny beads. A Gila monster stays low to the ground. 4 short legs stick out from its body. A thick, fat tail drags along the ground. A Gila monster's body sways back and forth when it crawls. A Gila monster's small, black eyes blend in with its face. Its skin is bumpy and rough. Where Gila monsters live. Gila monsters got their name from Arizona's Gila River. Gila monsters still live in Arizona as well in other parts of the southwestern United States. Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, and California are all home to these lizards. Gila monsters also live in Mexico with their cousins, Mexican bearded lizards. Gila monsters and Mexican bearded lizards are the world's only venomous lizards. Gila monster habitats. Bright sun heats up the sandy desert. Gila monsters avoid the heat by spending most of their time underground in burrows. Gila monsters make burrows in desert hills and valleys. Gila monsters dig burrows with their strong, curved claws. Thank you for listening to me read Gila Monsters by Jason Glaser.
Hello, my name is Danielle Felix, and I'm going to be reading Saving Wolves. The Big Bad Wolf. Big and beautiful wolves are living symbols of wild places. In North America, these biggest members of the dog family have become a favorite of wild animal lovers. Big wolves have always been loved. Europeans who settles in North America didn't like wolves or any other big predator or hunters. Settlers feared that wolves would harm them or kill their farm animals. They always didn't like sharing their wild game, like deer and elk, with wolves. American settlers shot, trapped, and poisoned wolves. They always killed much like our of the wolf's wild prey. Thank you for listening to me read Saving Wolves. Bye.
Hello, my name is Carl Cole, and I'm going to be reading Get That Ghost to Go by C. MacPhail. Then to my horror, Dean snatched Mr. Barr's toupee right off his head. I tried to stop him, and of course, what did it look like? It looked like as if I was the one who had taken off his toupee. Mr. Barr was yelling at me. He had his hands over his bald head. The class was going crazy. Dean threw the toupee across the room. It hit Marky in the face. So you two are in this together. Now you're both in deep trouble, said Mr. Barr. We were sent to the principal's off to the principal's office. Dean danced after us. He was enjoying every minute. Marky and I looked at each other. We've got to get that ghost to go, we both said. The principal yelled at us for hours. Dean made things worse by knocking all the papers off his desk. We got blamed for that. Then he spilled coffee down the principal's shirt. We got blamed for that too. It wasn't fair. Were you this bad when you were still alive? Thank you for listening to me read Get That Ghost to Go by C. MacPhail.
My name's Amber Rogers, and I'm going to be reading Robert McDoodle. Robert McDoodle was soon to be 6, and his parents were up to their usual tricks. He found in their dustiness under their bed pink socks, a red shirt, and a new pair of Keds. He groaned and he grumbled. How could they think he wanted new sneakers or anything pink? For his birthday, a 6-year-old, everyone knows, doesn't want something as boring as clothes. And anyway, Robert had plenty of stuff: Nintendo, a skateboard, and comics enough for a lifetime. A neat model train that could fly around the loop-de-loop tracks in the wink of an eye. What he wanted was nothing his parents could buy. Now, most boys will tell you that when they are grown, they want to go searching for dinosaur bones. They'll say if you ask that just like their pops, they want to be astronauts, lawyers, or cops. But Robert was different. For when he grew up, he wanted to be the world's first human pup. The dogs on his street were the happiest bunch. They never were called by their mother for lunch. Thank you for letting me read Robert McDoodle.
Sit down.
My name is Daniel Farina, and I'm going to be reading Scaly Blood Squirters and Other Extreme Reptiles by June Pretzler. The truth about reptiles. A hungry coyote scans the landscape. All he sees is sand, rock, and thorny bushes. Every so often, an ant scurries past. Suddenly, one of the rocks shoots out a sticky tongue and nabs the ant. Wait a second, that's no rock, it's a horned lizard. The coyote moves closer. The lizard gulps in air and puffs up like a prickly balloon. All at once, its eyelids swell shut. Bright red blood shoots from the corner of one eye and into the coyote's mouth. Startled, the coyote runs away. The coyote doesn't know that the horned lizard only looks tough. It's actually a very harmless little creature, unless you're a bug. Horned lizards love to eat bugs. The horned lizard looks a bit like a toad. Some people even call them horny toads. But horned lizards aren't toads at all. There are about 8,000 kinds of reptiles. What exactly are reptiles? Let's step back for just a moment. Scientists have seen, studied, and named millions of animals on the planet, and they're not done yet. To keep all of the animals straight, scientists sort all living things into groups based on shared features. Reptiles make up one of these groups. So, what features do reptiles have in common? Thank you for listening to me read.
Hi, my name is Shanae Navarez, and I will be reading Out of the Shadows. The girl in room 424. A 13-year-old girl lay unconscious in room 424 in River City General Hospital. She has been in a coma since the ambulance workers brought her in several nights earlier. There was always at least one visitor at her bedside. Tonight was no different. Her parents stood by, gazing down at their daughter. She was wearing pink cartoon pajamas, and her eyes were badly bruised. The girl did not even know they were there. The girl did not even know where she was. Somewhere in the back of her mind, while she lay unconscious, the girl heard adults talking around her. "She'll be okay," said Mrs. Jones, said a voice. "I just hope she wakes up," said her mother. "How will the church manage without her?" a man's voice asked. "I don't know," said another voice. "The youth center really needs help." "I don't care about that," her mother said softly. "I just want her to open her eyes again." The girl lay there, unable to open her eyes and unable to move. Deep in the back of her mind, the girl heard voices. They sounded sad. The girl thought, "I wish I could help them." Then she wished hard. She wished. Brothers. "Ow!" 16-year-old Forrest Summer shouted out, "Nice one, Ben." Forrest and his younger brother Ben, who was 14 years old, was supposed to be carrying brown boxes to the couch. Thank you for listening to me read Out of the Shadows.
Hello, my name is Elisa Lydia Eviadon, and I'm going to be reading Platypuses. From Eggs to Babies. After almost 100 years, the mystery of how platypuses have young was solved. Yet another question remained. For example, how did platypuses care for their eggs and babies? Over time, scientists learned that a female platypus in the wild lays 1 to 3 eggs at a time in her burrow. She places the eggs between her belly and tail to keep them warm. This illustration shows how a mother platypus uses her belly to keep her eggs warm. After they hatch, the babies are about the size of a kidney bean. Their mother's milk makes them strong. The babies are able to leave the burrow for the first time at 4 months. About 2 months later, they are ready to go off on their own. Baby platypuses don't have any fur and can't see when they are born. By the time they are 14 weeks old, their bodies are covered with fur and they can see. Thank you for listening to me read platypuses.
Hello, my name is Nadie Oakland. I'm going to be reading Fossa, a Fearsome Predator, my niche goldish. Uncovering the facts. As Luke began to study fossas, he learned many new things about this uncommon animal. Fossas are rarely seen during the day, so scientists had long believed that the animals hunt only at night. Luke discovered that this was not true. He saw fossas hunting during the day and at night. A fossa has no set times for hunting, eating, or sleeping. Scientists were also wrong about a fossa's prey. They had long thought that the animals hunt and kills only lemurs. Luke, however, found out that this animal eats any kind of animal it kills, from a mouse to a wild pig. It will eat anything with a heartbeat, Luke said. It's a killing machine. A fossa will attack an animal that is as big as or even bigger than itself. Teamwork. Each year, Luke returned to Madagascar to do more fossa research. He became a college professor and took some of his students to the African islands. He also worked with volunteers from an organization called Earthwatch Institute. They wanted to help Luke collect data about the fossa. In time, Luke and his assistants became experts at catching and studying fossas. They weighed and measured each fossa they caught. Thank you for listening to me read fossas.
Hello, my name is Austin Kennedy, and I'll be reading Roller Coasters by Gil Chandler. Loch Ness Monster, Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, Virginia. The monster's first drop leaves you dangling just above the surface of a river. Soon you're flying down a steel track at 60 miles per hour, 70 kilometers. At the end of 2 full loops, another car is coming straight at you. The car's timed so that it'll roll away and upside down track. Upside down, and at the last second, woof! Twister, formerly the Mr. Twister. This amazing wooden coaster is 3,020 feet long and 96 feet high. It was redesigned in the 1965 when wooden coasters were coming back in style. Twister does everything a Woody can possibly do, including a brief stretch of airtime, and the ride also includes a double helix. The speeding run through a dark tunnel. King Cobra. Kings Island Park, Kingsmill, Ohio. An arm harness bar laps and holds you in place. Thank you for listening to me read. And for listening to me read.
Hi, my name is Justina, and I'm going to be reading October by Fran Newman and Claudette Unger. Sally, hi, I'm glad you came. Boy, you sure don't look the same. Sally, gee, I like your hat. You look weird dressed up like that. Sally, who'd you believe the change? Your face and hands are really strange. Sally, that's a scary wig. How'd you make your eyes so big? Sally, wait! What did you say? Sally, gosh, she flew away. Munch Lunch by Arnold Hoffman. Munch lunch at noon, peanut butter in a spoon, some soup, more milk, Mama makes munch lunch. Hooray by Dr. Fizzhuff Dachshund. Hooray for frogs and tadpoles and guppies. Hooray for goldfish and kittens and puppies. Hooray for puzzles and riddles and jokes. Hooray for popcorn, hot dogs and cokes. Hooray for weekends, vacations and school. Hooray for Thanksgiving and April Fools. Hooray for sailboats and kites in the sky. Hooray for cold milk and hot apple pie. Weather Proverbs by Melanie Zolo. March winds and April showers, spring, May flowers. Thank you for listening to me read.
Hi, my name is Dylan De La Vega, and I will be reading Facts and Figures of the P-51 Mustang. Ordered by the British, the prototype Mustang was proposed, designed, built, and flown in an incredible 117 days. The initial aircraft was the first of 15,686 examples of the P-51 produced. The Mustang was flown by 11 Allied Air Forces in addition to the U.S. Air Corps. 281 Allied Mustang pilots qualified as aces with 5 or more kills. The late model P-51H was at 472 miles per hour, one of the fastest piston engine fighters. In October 1944, the Mustang pilot Lieutenant Urban L. Drew managed the astonishing feat of shooting down 2 Me-262 jets. As the bombers of the 8th Air Force fought their way deep into Hitler's heartland, it was the Mustang that cleared the skies of Luftwaffe fighters. No other combat airplane of the war could fly as high, go as far, and fight as hard as the mighty Mustang, in skilled hands of young U.S. Air Corps pilots. Thank you for having me read Facts and Figures of the P-51 Mustang.
Hi, my name is Chastity, and I am going to read you a story called Frogs. Amazing frogs. More than 4,000 kinds of frogs live in the world. Frogs can be many colors, including green, blue, orange, or yellow. Frogs have 2 bulgy eyes. They have short front legs and long back legs. Frogs use their strong back legs to leap. Frogs are amphibians. Frogs are amphibians. They live both land and water. Amphibians are cold-blooded animals. Their body temperature is the same as air or water around them. Frogs breathe air through their lungs. Frogs also take in oxygen through their skin. A frog's habitat. Most frogs need a wet habitat. Frogs often live near water. Their skin needs to be wet to take oxygen from air. Some frogs live in rivers, ponds, or lakes. Other frogs live in hot, humid rainforests. What do frogs eat? Frogs hunt for food. Some frogs leap to catch food. Other frogs wait to catch food with their long, sticky tongues. Thank you so much for letting me read. I hope you enjoyed it.
My name is Mikey, and I'm going to be reading Bigfoot. Legend of Bigfoot. In 1967, Roger Patterson and Bob Dylan rode horses through the mountains of Northern California. Across the stream, they saw a tall, hairy figure. The creature walked on 2 legs. It was more than 6 feet tall. Hair covered its body. The horses became frightened. Patterson lost his balance and fell off his horse. He grabbed his movie camera before he hit the ground. Patterson filmed the animal as he ran toward it. Gillen stayed behind. He held a rifle in case the animal attacked. Patterson's camera ran out of film. The beast walked into the woods. For thousands of years, people have told stories about wild, hairy beasts that look like humans. Some stories could be based on Bigfoot sightings. American Indians may have been the first people in North America to see a Bigfoot. Some tribes in Canada called Siswi or wild man of the woods. In English, the name became Sasquatch. Interested in Bigfoot grew after 1958 at your Jerry Brewery's Building Road, workers near Oak Creek. Thank you for letting me read. For listening.
My name is Rosalind Kepler, and I'll be reading Polar Bears. Life in Africa. Africa is a home in the polar bears, the world's biggest land predator. In Africa circles a large part of the sea remains frozen all years. This area is called the ice cap. In winter, the sea around the ice cap freezes too. Polar bears spend fall, winter, and spring hunting for frozen sea. Mothers and cubs. In early winter, the female polar bear builds an underground den in a snowbank. Her cubs will be born there. The family lives in a den until spring. The cubs feed on their mother's milk. The mother doesn't hunt for food. She doesn't need to eat. She's able to live off her body fat. Leaving the den. In early April, the family leaves the den so that the mother can hunt for food. If she doesn't get anything to eat, her cubs cannot survive. They depend on her for food. The mother must guard her babies carefully after leaving the den. Hungry predators, such as wolves, adult males, polar bears, hunt for cubs to eat. Life in the sea. Polar bears are strong swimmers. They spend a lot of time in the sea. They swim from iceboat to iceboat, hunting for seals. Polar bears' bodies are perfect for the water. The bears use their webbed feet as paddles. Thank you for letting me read.
Hi, I am Xanth Coover, and I'm going to be reading Garter Snakes. What garter snakes look like. Garter snakes got their name from the long stripes on their bodies. People thought that the stripes and scale pattern looked like a sock garters. Sock garters are stretchy bands of cloth. They are worn around the top of socks to keep them from slipping. Most garter snakes have yellow, green, or orange stripes. Garter snakes are short and thin. Most adults are between 1 and 2 feet long. Some garter snakes can grow to be 4 feet long. Garter snakes in the world. Garter snakes can live almost anywhere in North America, except deserts. They can live in grasslands, woodlands, and even shady backyards. Garter snakes are common in the United States and Canada. Garter snakes live as far north as Alaska and as far south as the Gulf of Mexico. Garter snakes habitat. Garter snakes live in a wide range of habitats. Most garter snakes live in wet meadows or damp forests. They hunt prey that live in or near rivers and lakes. Thank you for listening to me read.
My name is Daniel Ralston. I'm going to be reading The World's Most Dangerous Bugs by Nick Healy. Number 9 on the list is human botfly. What's under your skin? Maybe it's a human botfly. If so, you could be dinner. The trouble begins when the botfly reproduces. They look for a warm and moist place on a person's body to lay their eggs. Larvae, or maggots, hatch from the eggs and burrow into your skin. The maggots feed on human tissue, often in the brain and eyes. The human host itches, swells, and breaks out in sores. Some victims vomit and have headaches.
In rare cases, the person is left blind. After 20 to 60 days, the maggots push from under the skin and drop to the ground. At that point, they molt into pupa. Soon they mater flies. Surely, more dangerous bugs exist, but the human botfly could be the grossest. The maggots leave a painful sore in the human skin. Thank you for listening to me read.
Okay.
My name is Holly Crouch, and I'll be reading Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. Before breakfast. "Where's Papa going with that axe?" said Fern to her mother as they were setting the table for breakfast. "Out to the hog house," replied Mrs. Rabel. "Some pigs were born last night." "I don't see why he needs an axe," continued Fern, who was only 8. "Well," said her mother, "one of the pigs is a runt, and is very small and weak, and will never amount to anything. So your father has decided to do away with it." "Do away with it?" shrieked Fern. "You mean kill it, just because it's smaller than the others?" Mrs. Rabel put a pitcher of cream on the table. "Don't yell, Fern," she said. "Your father is right. The pig would probably die anyway." Fern pushed a chair out of the way and ran outdoors. The grass was wet and earth smelled of springtime. Fern's sneakers were sopping by the time she caught up with her father. "Please don't kill it," she sobbed. "It's unfair." Mr. Rabel stopped walking. "Fern," he said gently, "you will have to learn to control yourself." "Control myself," yelled Fern. "This is a matter of life and death, and you talk about controlling myself?" Tears ran down her cheeks as she took hold of the axe and tried to pull it out of her father's hand. "Fern," said Mr. Rabel, "I know more about raising a litter of pigs than you do. A weakling makes trouble. Now run along." "But it's unfair," cried Fern. "The pig couldn't help being born small, could it? If I had been very small at birth, would you have killed me?" Mr. Rabel smiled. "Certainly not," he said, looking down at his daughter with love. Thank you for listening to me read.
Hi, my name is Malika Duffy, and I'm going to be reading the Edge Chronicles Storm Chaser. Apparently the clouds roared back. The bright moon shone at the grisly scene, turning everything to black and white. White blankets, black blood. White bony body lurching on into the mud. Black shadows stretching across the rocks. White ravens already scavenging black deeds amongst tombstones. With his leatherbacks full of bloody booty clasped in his bony hand, Screed the toe-eater picked his way across the mire. Far away in front of him, the moon glinted on the wreck of the skyship, which lay half buried in the mud like a giant skeleton. Unblinking, Screed kept his eyes fixed on the glittering ribs of the broken hull. Closer, closer he came. Not once did he falter. No, not once did he look back. At last, Screed muttered as he made his way to the wreck. He glanced around for any telltale sign of institution, and when he was satisfied that no one and nothing there, he cuddled into the shadowed recess of the lopsided ship. And some intruder had taken the opportunity to investigate the place during his owner's absence. He or she would have been left unshaken with disbelief. Thank you for letting me read.
Good.
My name is Dustin Bernard, and I will be reading the Tales of Beetle the Bard by J.K. Rowling, the Tales of the Three Brothers. So the oldest brother, who was a combative man, asked for a wand more powerful than any in existence, a wand that always wins duels for its owner, a wand worthy of a wizard who had conquered death. So Death crossed to an elder tree on the banks of the river, fashioned a wand from a branch that hung there and gave it to the oldest brother. The second brother, who was an arrogant man, decided he wanted to humiliate Death further. And he asked for the power to recall others from death. So Death picked up a stone from the riverbank and gave it to the second brother and told him that the stone would have the power to bring back the dead. And he asked the third and youngest brother what he would like. The youngest brother was the humblest and also wisest of the brothers. He did not trust Death. He asked something that would enable him to go forth at that place without being followed by Death. And Death most unwillingly handed over his cloak of invisibility. Thank you for listening to me read.
Hi, my name is Riley, and I will be reading Where the Sidewalk Ends. Treehouse. A treehouse, a free house, a secret you and me house. Well, high up in the leafy branches, cozy X can be house. A street house, a neat house. Be sure to wipe your feet house. It's not my kind of house at all. Let's go live in a treehouse. The toucan. Tell me who can catch a toucan? Lucan. Just how few can ride the toucan? Toucan. What kind of goo can stick you to the toucan? Glue can. Who can write some more about the toucan? You can. Spaghetti. Spaghetti, spaghetti, all over the place. Up to my elbows, up to my face. Over the carpet and under the chairs, into the hammock and round the stairs. Filling the bathtub and covering the desk, making the sofa a mad, mushy mess. The party is ruined. I'm terribly worried. The guests have all left, unless they're all buried. I told them, bring presents, throw confetti. I guess they heard wrong, because they all threw spaghetti. What's in the sack? What's in the sack? What's in the sack? Is it the mushrooms or is it the moon? Thank you for listening to me read.
Hi, my name is Casey and I'm going to be reading Geckos by Sally Vincent. What geckos look like? Geckos have large heads and flat bodies. Their soft skin is covered with tiny scales that look like beads. Most geckos are less than 12 inches, 30 centimeters long. A gecko can run across a ceiling without falling. The bottom of its toes have pads covered with tiny hairs. These hairs can grab onto smooth surfaces. Geckos can even stick to glass. Geckos have thick tails. The tail breaks off if a predator grabs it. Then the tail grows back in a few months. Where geckos live. Geckos live in warm places throughout the world. They can be found on every continent except Antarctica. Australia has more than 100 kinds of geckos. A few kinds of geckos live in the United States. Banded geckos are found in the southwest. The leaf-toed gecko lives in California. Hawaii also has many kinds of geckos. Geckos' habitats. Geckos live in many habitats, including rainforests, deserts, and grasslands. Some geckos make their homes in mountains or canyons. Geckos usually blend in with their surroundings. Leaves, branches, rocks, and sand are all hiding places for geckos. The leaf-toed gecko lives in trees. Thank you for listening to me read Geckos.
Hello, my name is Dagan Carter, and I am going to be reading Monsters of the Deep Sea Adaptation by Kelly Reagan Barnhill. Here we go. Gulpers and Vampires. Oh my. Chapter 4. They have fangs so long their teeth don't fit in their mouths. They can smell food hundreds of yards away. They're ferocious, they're clever, and they're hungry. Want one for a pet? Not a chance. Here's a look at some of the animals that make their home in the deep sea. On second thought, maybe you should skip this chapter. It's too scary for you. If you keep reading, beware of the monsters in the dark. That poor hatchfish is pretty much viper fish sushi. Crazy. Don't try to swim down where these deep sea animals live. Your body would be crushed like a pop can. The vampire squid can see in the dark using tiny lights or photos all over its body. This squid uses the lights to see. It turns the lights on to stalk prey. Its eye is how big? Well, a vampire squid is only 6 inches long, 15 centimeters long, but its size are a wolf size. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for listening for me to read.
My name is Tyler Gladden, and we will be reading Alexander and the Wind-Up Mouse. One day when there was no one in the house, Alexander heard a squeak in Annie's room. He sneaked in, and what did he see? Another mouse, but not an ordinary mouse like himself. Instead of legs, it had 2 little wheels on its back. There was a key. "Who are you?" asked Alexander. "I am Willie, the wind-up mouse, Annie's favorite toy. They wind me to make me run around in circles. They cuddle me, and at night I sleep on the soft white pillow between the doll and woodly teddy bear. Everyone loves me. They don't care much for me," asked Alexander sadly, but he was happy to have found a friend. "Let's go to the kitchen and look for crumbs," he said. "Oh, I can't," said Alexander. "I can only move when they wind me, but I don't mind. Everybody loves me." Alexander, too, came to love Willie. He went to visit him whenever he could. He told him of his adventures, of brooms, flying saucers, and mouse traps. Thank you for listening to me read.
Hello, my name is Jade Connor, and I am going to be reading Senior Tiny Chihuahua by Natalie Lunis. Okay, tiny puppies. All puppies are small, but Chihuahua puppies are especially tiny. Most weigh only 3 or 4 ounces. When they are born, about as much as an apple. Okay. By the time they are a month old, they weigh about 1 pound. Larger kinds of puppies, such as golden retrievers or collies, are usually ready to leave their mother at the age of 8 weeks. However, Chihuahua puppies need to stay with their mothers at least a week longer so that they can build up their strength. Then they are ready to become part of a human family. Like all puppies, young Chihuahuas love to run and play. Many Chihuahua puppies start out with floppy ears. However, as they grow into adults, their ears start to stand up straight This 2-week-old puppy easily fits in a person's hand. Learning to get along. Chihuahuas are intelligent. Thank you for letting me read.
We love reading!
What do you love?
Reading!
And where do you go to school?
Hennessy!
And what grade are you in?
4th!
And what do you love?
Reading!